people. There were no review videos out about this bike before I got it. I felt somebody had to make something so we know something about it. So hopefully I'm the one going through all the problems and issues, so none of you have to go through the problems and issues I've had, because I've had a few of them, but nothing major. I'm gonna title this video "The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly." Let me see. Uh, let's start off with the good. The good is the price that I paid for the bike and what I'm getting back out of it per day, per month. You can't beat that. I paid $1,500 total for my bike at the store that I purchased it from. Excuse me. That was in April. We're now in September. So for the $1,500 plus, I'm spending around $11 to $13 a month in gas, depending on what the gas prices rates are going at this moment. I'm spending about what 13, April, May, June, July, August, September. That's 6 months. 6 months and 13, about $80. You say in 6 months worth of just gas. Maintenance has been too bad. Now I will say this. Now we're gonna get to the bad. The bad part is I've lost 2 tires. I mean, the bike is running and is active. As you can see, the tires have been changed. Front and back have been changed. But the price of the tires is where it can get tricky at. Now, because I'm American, like mostly everybody else watching this video, you try to do things the simple, fast way. Now, I have been big on buying parts and everything from Amazon, but on the tire issue, I wanted to get it done quick. Would have been a better deal for me to buy it on Amazon myself. So my first tire got blown out. I didn't do a video about that one. It was just something small, I guess, blew it out, whatever. But the price of the tire, though, was $75 for the tire from the store, plus another $75 in maintenance. So you're looking about $150 plus, and then you have to get it towed there. That's a whole nother thing I don't want to get into, because that can be tricky. Luckily, shout out to my homeboy Juan that works with me. He knows exactly what it is. We watched this video. Thank you so much, brother, for helping me come through, move this bike. To make these videos and keep it progressing. Thank you very much, because it was a B to move this bike on a flat tire and try to get it towed in Los Angeles, California. Moving on. Second tire got blown maybe about 3 weeks ago. Ran over some glass, and if you can see there, that's the gas that it put in my inner tube. That's the gas that it put in my firewall right there. And that was the back tire. That right there was another $200. Time, maintenance, and all kind of stuff. And it took 6 days for the shop to get everything right. Had I probably ordered it off of Amazon myself, the tire, it would have been way cheaper, but still the time cost me. So anyways, we're good on that now, and everything is taken care of. So one thing I will talk about is when it comes to maintenance, I would suggest that if you buy this bike, you want to look into investing in better tires in the first probably 3 months instead of 6 months like I did. These tires have been pretty good, and the front tire is still the original tire. But as I look at the tire, because this is Chinese, and people did say a lot of things about Chinese stuff, this is where you have to think about it. But I understood what I got when I got this Chinese tire on the ply, not as great as the tire they put on here. Now, the shop, after 6 days of waiting, came through, and they put a very nice Michelin tire on there. You can see the difference in the ply. You can definitely see the Michelin. This little Michelin man is somewhere on here. Standing there he is, standing next to it. So far, so good with that tire. It's changed my ride up a little bit, a little more stiff, like it's brand new, but I'm not mad at that. I'd rather take thicker ply and a little stiffer ride than go and do some BS. Another bad thing I had, and I'm gonna blame it on the tires more than anything else, because I did upgrade, and the only upgrade I've done so far has been a racing CDI, to the most part. Now, I bought the upgrade package, and it came with the new ignition cable, as you see here. It came with the spark plug right here, and it came with the air filter right here. I would advise that you do not take your air filter off your carburetor area right there. I did that. I took the whole air system out, which is why I opened this up for you to see. The air system and your air vent goes right in back there, and it ends up under the seat where your CDI, if you changed it out watching my prior video, where your CDI is probably sitting against. I took the whole vacuum system out. Some of you may have seen the video where I did it, and I looked so dumb that I took it off instantly. Totally do not recommend it to check anything out in there. In fact, when you open up the air vent system, you will find that the actual air filter's in there. It's a cardboard air filter about 80 centimeters. If you change out the one in the front and put on the little 30mm air filter that I had right there for your average pit bike, it's going to sound like you're driving a really jacked up lawnmower down the street, and you're going to lose a lot of compression. Mind you, this bike is a 50cc. So you don't want to lose any compression already, especially if you haven't unrestricted it by taking off the CDI. Other issues that I've had has been the battery. I noticed that when I've taken the battery out, I tightened up where the electrolyte cells are at. Again, Chinese, I need to purchase a new battery. I'll probably be doing that in the next couple of weeks to a month, because this battery has always been leaking from day one. If you watch my first video, that I don't like, and I don't want any true corrosion on the paint job or anything messing up down to my engine. So that I've had that issue too. Tighten them up, they still leak. Somebody also asked me a question. Shout out to the person that asked me that question about the battery. No, it's not you. You did nothing wrong, probably overfilling it. The battery is just a cheap battery. Got to realize where it came from, but that's no problem to the end of the story, because everything can be worked on and upgraded. Another question that was asked to me, can you put a big bore kit on? As far as I've looked up, and I've tried to do as much research as possible for everybody out there, like I said before, I'm going through it so you don't have to. You can get a big bore kit for this engine, from what it seems, for most Chinese engines out there. Can't remember the names off the top. I'll make another video and I'll tell you the names of the engines that I've looked at. But definitely you can. Again, if you're going to upgrade and big bore kit it out, I would upjet your carburetor at minimum, if not upgrade your carburetor. I would pretty much totally almost do a whole new engine drop. Shout out to Turbo Power Sports out in the city of Orange. I talked to them about some information. They're very knowledgeable. I plan to take my bike down there and hopefully pay to get it upgraded to a 125. Now, you guys let me know what's going on with that. We'll work on with that if I should upgrade it to a 125. Because as of right now, yesterday I rode my motorcycle down the street and it's in kilometers. So I did the math after I was done. Shout out to Google. I was doing 75 kilometers per hour on a speedometer going down the street, and that boils down to 44.75 some change miles per hour. So, like I said, I fluctuate between 200 to 220 pounds, depending on time of year, how heavy I was eating and everything. So for me to be over 200 pounds doing 45 miles per hour down a public road, I can't complain with all the upgrade I've done as a racing CDI. Just a high-end CDI 5-pin. And I believe that's all you need for now. Now, 125 should make it a little bit faster than what I'm doing. It definitely should, because 125, from what I've seen, has been posted to get you at 50. Well, I'm 5 miles under 50 already with just a CDI. And that's all I've done. I was looking into changing the ignition cable that you saw right there. But when I looked deeper into what was going on, it didn't look like it was actually going to be compatible with this bike. So be very cautious on what you do. As far as I've seen right now, I've only done this racing CDI. I can't stress that enough. Racing CDI is the only upgrade I've done. Don't mess with your air filter. I mean, it's your bike, you do what you want to do. But the air filter is inside the air vent. It's a big, long bladder, and I'm going to tell you now, it is another B to get it out, and it's a bigger B to put it back in. The first video I made, like I said, that I deleted, I took it out. It took me maybe about 20 minutes so to do. I recorded it. A few people watched it. Shout out to everybody who's been watching my videos again. But putting it back in was a whole nother stressful situation. A lot of bad slur words were coming out of my mouth towards everything, and I didn't want people to see me doing that. I want to be kid friendly about this. So I would advise you don't put it back in there. If you don't have little hands to stick it in there, then it can be done, because I got it back in there and everything is perfect now. But I do not recommend it again. As far as I'm concerned, what's going on right now is what's going on. I know the basics of what I need to do to my bike. If anything happens, oil changes, we'll get into that right now. In fact, maintenance. For the most part, regular maintenance, I keep my bike covered up at night to make sure that the elements just don't tear it apart. Wash it down with just some regular soap water, nothing too heavy. It needs to be washed right now. Oil changes. After you've had your bike around 200 miles, I say within the first 30 days, you definitely want to make sure you change that oil after they give you the factory oil, because it's crap. It's thin as hell, and you'll definitely understand the ride difference as you progress riding your bike. I changed my oil out the first 30 days. I went and bought Lucas 1040 wet clutch semi-automatic for motorcycles. It only cost me about maybe $8.99 for the liter, and I was good on that. Then 3 months down the line, additionally, I changed my oil again about 1,000 miles, maybe 2.5 months, 3 months down the line. I changed it again, and I definitely saw the performance difference, especially when switching into third to fourth gear. My third gear was a little always sticky in the first couple of months of breaking it in. Now it's a real smooth transaction from third to fourth. And that's when I really start to get my speed going down the street. So again, I have not had any problem with Lucas 1040 wet clutch, semi-automatic motorcycle, real cheap. For those who haven't changed their oil yet, something you can do, just prop your bike up on the stand. It's a 17 millimeter. Remember, this is Chinese, so everything is metric. 17 millimeter. Open up your oil plug, twist the cap off the top, put a funnel in there, let it drip out, put a funnel in, pour it in, real simple. Don't need a shop for that because they'll charge you about $75 for something that you can do yourself, and it's so simple. And if you can't do it, you can call your brother or uncle, or somebody can do it for you for real simple, if not free. Make sure you check your tires again. Constantly check your tires. Can't stress that enough. The air pressure needs to be 40 psi on the cold. And for the most part, you should have any problems. Like I said before, I was getting the tires. With the old tire that I had on there, I noticed one morning, and I have some videos. Again, I'm sorry for procrastinating making videos because people have been asking me. I have some ride videos going to work in the morning and riding around town. I just haven't edited. That's the problem. I'm not an editor, but I'm going to start doing it. Editing videos, whatever, driving around town, like I was saying. So I was going to work one morning, and I was doing about probably 44, 45, as I said before. Coming down the hill, too, so I probably was doing maybe close to 50. Pretty wide angle, 5 o'clock in the morning. Nobody's out, thank God. Made a wide left turn, and I felt my bike at that point start to slide up under me. Now, again, I've been riding motorized vehicles. I have a Class A license. I can pretty much drive anything. Been in the military. I can drive damn near anything that has any kind of wheels or treads on it. So the moral of the story is that I knew what to do. I didn't gas. I let off the gas, did not brake, and kind of just rolled into it. And my foot was planted just in case I was going to have to make a hard slide. Okay. Just in case I was going to have to make a hard slide. So that right there, I would put that on the tires. Like I said, they're a little more bald, the Asian tires, more than this Michelin. So far riding it back, I feel more grip, like I said earlier. So that's another thing I recommend. Again, change your tires within the first 3 months, maintenance-wise. Beyond that, I've had no real problems. Constantly check your mirrors because they do loosen up from the ride. If you feel you need to, go get Loctite Blue. That will help out and lock them into place. Definitely start covering up your ignition. You don't want it to get rusted out, again, because of the elements, so you want to cover your bike at night, possibly in the daytime if you're not riding it from sun damage and beat down. And I believe for the most part, another big thing I noticed that you need to pay attention to. On your back kickstands, I guess, for the rider, make sure that you don't lose what do they call it? Your cotter pins, because your cotter pins will bounce out. I lost one on the other side, but I put something in there to hold it down. So for that point, that's pretty good. Gas, I've only put 91 in there once to just blow it out after about 3 months of riding 87, because 87 is supposedly the bottom of the barrel, I guess. So I did do that once, but